down the road, or a conversion, or something else like that. But there's a fine line between, you know, hanging on to something and, you know, knowing when to let it go, or knowing when, okay, this is just maybe part of it is salvageable for something else. I will say something else. Your idea is unlikely to get picked up by a company to be made into a AAA game, but putting together a small team and building a demo might be a good way to get yourself noted by a company and brought on board. In that case, you know, some steps in this process are appropriate. Narrowing down what the game is about, coming up with your core feature set, being able to pitch it, and then building your basic prototype of the game. All that still holds true.
So, I think we are at the ending, maybe.
I think we are hopefully at the end of this one. Does anyone have any more questions, thoughts?
Yeah, I think I have some minutes for some more questions.
I have one question, but is if you try to do GTP, it's similar with the GTA.
Mm-hmm.
So how you treat the violence in the game? You will just kill, or you just transform the people in a flower, or throw them away? I don't know.
Well, that comes back to some of the other stuff we were talking about. And if everything is working in harmony inside the core concept, which is Grand Theft Auto and Fairy Tale Land, then you can say, okay, well, we can't have killing, but we do want humor. So, you know, instead of killing someone, you just stun them. You make it like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. Or you turn them into flowers temporarily. Or they go running off into the hills going, ee! But you make sure all those pieces fit together, all those elements. If we want it funny, here's a great place to build it in funny. If we wanted fairy tales, maybe there's a way to make this something out of a fairy tale where, you know, ping, you get turned into a tree. And if you're doing it right, all these elements support each other and help you find the answers to questions like that.
What about the implementation of artificial intelligence, etc.?
Okay.
Next step.
AI is part of your design. It's part of your core design. And that falls out of your feature set. You need to figure out what you want your AI to be able to do, and then you design it, and you prototype it, and you implement it as you go along there. And you end up with a circular process where AI is getting designed and implemented, then being tested with scripting and things like that, which calls for more demands on AI and goes around in an iterative cycle.
Richard, do you see any major differences in the development process among different market segments, like the casual game scene? Because you have casual game have much smaller budgets and teams. And do you still see any major changes in the development process?
In a lot of cases, it would be changes of scope, not in terms of the actual process. And let me say, what we've talked about today is a generic process in the very loosest terms. The specific process we use at Ubi, for example, has a lot of things that, you know, a lot of specific things that they want to see, a lot of specific things they're looking for, things like that. But this is just a broad-based basics. But my understanding, and bearing in mind that I have not worked on casual games for the most part, is that you still need to know what the game is going to do. You still need to know how it's going to get there. You still need your ideas to either fit within it or be chopped out. So it would be, your asset list would probably be shorter, your development time would probably be shorter because there's less physically going into the game. But the same basic thought process can, I think, be partially followed here at least.
Our country is known for having really good ideas, people to have ideas. But unfortunately, we don't have any of the major developers here in Brazil. We don't have any studios here in Brazil. Ubi is a good. Do you think there's any chance that a person here in Brazil gets good ideas and develops anytime send to one of the publishers and it gets published?
I think there's always a possibility. I think something like that would be potentially rare. I think where you might have better luck with something like that is doing it as a casual game, releasing it through a web portal, talking to you know, Xbox Live Arcade and getting it up there, things like that. rather than potentially trying to go the route of a major publisher, finding a way to get it out there through its own initiative. You know, that worked fantastically for games like Geometry Wars.
Bom, então se vocês não tiverem mais nenhuma pergunta, acho que eu vou pedir para o Richard então falar as palavras finais dele. I think the people don't have any questions. If you can, your final words for today.
Final words would be the process is at least as important as the idea, and knowing how to communicate your idea is in some cases more important than the idea itself. Don't just think about, I have a great idea for a game. Think about, here is why this game can be great for everyone to play, and build everything that you do off of that.
Okay, thank you very much, Richard. Thank you.
I look forward to seeing some of you make Grand Theft Pig.
You can buy Grand Theft Pig in the first door, right?